It's happening. I didn't know whether to call this. I felt like Tuesday Night Streams was a dumb name, but Tuesday Night Live was also dumb, so I don't know what we're going to call it. But we're not doing music, we're not talking video, we're just making a quick, easy dessert because Jesse and I want to have a quick, easy dessert tonight. So we're doing a s'mores pudding pie. And it's a really, really simple recipe, but we're going to take some Oreo pudding. Now you could use chocolate pudding if you want to go like true s'mores on it. But we're going Oreo s'mores, s'moreos. But the recipe is really simple. We're gonna grab 2 cups of milk, part of 1 cup of milk, pretty sure it's 2 cups, right? It was 2 cups last time. 2 cups of cold milk. Wrap this up to 2 cups. And then after we stir in the pudding, in 5 minutes of being in the fridge, it will be cold pudding. Open this up. If you've never made pudding before, you really should because it's super easy. And if you feel like indulging yourself with something that seems really creative and thoughtful, if you're trying to surprise your partner or your spouse, someone you're dating with like, oh hey, I whipped up a little fun dessert, put pudding in something. I put it in martini glasses last week, and then it felt like I was really fun and thoughtful and creative with the dessert. All we do is mix it up like that, and then we're going to take these little cups here, and the top one has a little plastic thing in it, but I'm going to lay these out. I chose this small wooden plate thing because I thought it looked artisanal and bespoke, something that would be fit for Instagram. I'm going to stir this up a little bit more, and I'm going to throw this in the fridge for a minute. Now, if I were doing this into a cup or a martini glass, I would probably just pour it right into the martini glass and let that cool. But since these are these graham cracker crusts, if I just pour the liquid in, it's probably going to like soften it up a little bit. So I'm going to give it a minute. And the other part, the more fun part, is toasting marshmallows. Now you're welcome to build a fire. You're welcome to toast them in the way that you toasted them before. I think you can even put them in a toaster oven. But if you've got a really good partner or spouse, or you're dating someone cool, they may have bought you a kitchen torch, which is just this thing that makes fire. And so using this, we can roast a marshmallow. Careful not to do it on something that can't take the heat. Like if you do it on a plate, you may find that the cold plate cracks from suddenly being exposed to a whole bunch of heat. So I'm using like a little wire cookie sheet that has some tin foil over it, so there's nothing really absorbing the heat that can't take it. So that's what we're going to do for just a couple of these. And we'll let that sit for just a second and pour my pudding. It's already starting to thicken a little bit, which is what we wanted all along. Now watch me spill this everywhere. Going here. Oh, I spilled right between the two of them. Here. And there we go. Now it's that simple already, kind of looks cute and thoughtful, and we're going to throw this in the fridge to set. And we can return to the fun part. Now it looks like, in spite of my best efforts, did the foil burn? Yes, I burned a hole through the foil somehow. I didn't think that was possible. Maybe we won't eat that one. But we're going to go through and do the same thing to these other 3 marshmallows. patience is the key. If you haven't used a kitchen torch before, change how you live your life and get yourself a kitchen torch. They're good for lighting candles and burning things. I think everyone gets one thinking they'll make creme brulee, and then they forget that to make creme brulee, you need to like make a custard and bake it in ramekins that are floating in a casserole dish of water for 2 hours in your oven, and only then do you get to sprinkle sugar over it and burn the sugar. So when I first got it, I just made oatmeal and then poured a bunch of sugar over the oatmeal and then roasted the sugar on top of the oatmeal. So yeah, just get creative with it, but don't waste good opportunities with a kitchen torch. You'd be surprised at what you can burn. Jesse, do you like yours burned?
Sure.
I'm gonna do my best to toast this next one. There probably is an art to this, or a technique rather, that avoids these hot spots and burn marks, and you can just make it nice and round and happy. If you're cooking for other people, you may not want to blow on the food every time during a pandemic, but we're rolling the dice here and we're married, so. Jesse, when you bought me the kitchen torch, did you expect it to be used as often as it's used for just marshmallows?
I think it could be used more often for marshmallows.
That's the right answer. So when I did this the other night, I took my time and I kept coming back to them, and it really was like toasted well, where the inside was nice and gooey and the outside formed a good little rind. Stop it. We'll see if I'm being as patient here. Really the challenge here is if you're doing this on a live stream, you've got to wait 5 minutes for the pudding to set in the refrigerator. And so what do you do for 5 minutes? You burn marshmallows on camera on live YouTube. And you try to come up with a better name than Tuesday night streams. Stop. So if your mouth isn't watering yet, maybe you need to check your resolution and make sure you're watching in HD. Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape here. By that I mean I've burned a crown onto each of these. Let's see if they're... Okay, get the bottom side here, then we'll call it a day with the marshmallows. Marshmallows are one of those things that I feel like they're bad when they're burned, but so many people just like when you are roasting marshmallows around a campfire, they just immediately shove it in the fire and catch it on fire and say they like that. In the same way that kids, if you tell them their shoes are untied, they're like, I know. It's a bad thing. That's why we're talking about it, but if you just own it with confidence, it gets people to stop asking. Okay, burned that one again. So you can see it's nice and soft and gooey, and it looks like if I pull, oh yeah, this one is just all gooey inside and a nice shell on the outside. So I've messed that up for you to see it. So, all right. In hindsight, for the sake of YouTube, probably should have put these in the freezer, but you can see they've already pretty much set. Like this is a firm set pudding that's not running out of there. And so we just take our beautiful marshmallows for Instagram ready. We set them on top. And for bonus points, if you wanted to crush a graham cracker and smear it on top of it, it'll look more presentable, more Instagrammable. But yeah, in a matter of 9 minutes, we have things that if you brought this into a room and someone didn't know that all you did was stir some milk up with some powder and play with a kitchen torch, it would seem pretty thoughtful and romantic. So that's what we're doing tonight, and now we're gonna go eat these. Thanks for watching. See you later, bye. I did say, hey, Sean at the beginning.
Go ahead, do now.
Hey, Sean. Bye.